Hello guys, welcome back to another HONA tutorial. Today we're going to be going over removing builder and gel polish. So to start off with, we're going to need a 180 file just to file down all of the shiny surface of the nail plate. The reason we're filing off the shiny surface is just to ensure the acetone can penetrate through the layers. If the shiny surface or top coat is still there, then the acetone won't be able to reach underneath. So once all of this is buffed off, we can then go in and remove the product. If your PureBuild builder gel is a little bit bulkier, you can also file down the bulk at this stage as well, and this will reduce the removal time. Because we're using a hand file, I'm also being really careful with the surrounding skin of the nail and making sure I'm not impacting the sidewalls or the cuticle area. You'll also notice that I'm pulling back the sidewalls and pulling up the cuticle as well, just to make sure every area is filed. Any shiny surface remaining will not be removed properly, just because the acetone can't penetrate. Just going to speed through these last couple of fingers before we move on to the next step. Once you've finished filing, you should be left with something that looks a little bit like this. As some of you know, I do prefer to use an e-file for speed reasons, so I'm also going to show you what that looks like using a sanding band. So for this, I'm using a 150 sanding band just to take down a little bit of the bulk and of course the shiny surface that we mentioned before. The same process applies, it's just that I'm not using a manual file on this occasion, so I'll speed through this bit for you as well. Again, it's really important to be careful with the surrounding skin. You can see that I'm being really slow and really careful around this area, and it's even more important when you're using an e-file because it's a little bit easier to slip or scuff the skin. So just be really gentle, really careful, and apply next to no pressure at all. Once everything's been filed off, it's time to soak. So I'm using pre-made foil wraps, cotton pads, and 100% pure acetone. I soak the cotton pad and then wrap the foil around the finger, and then I leave that to soak for around 10 to 15 minutes. Even though I'm using the pre-made foils, I do find that using the cotton on top does help it soak off a little bit easier. The pre-made foil cotton is a little bit small and it's also a little bit plasticky, so it does struggle to penetrate through the nail. Okay, so this has been left on for around 10 minutes and you can see that the builder is coming away on its own. It's a super buttery formula and it's so easy to soak off. I'm using a sharp square cuticle tool just to assist me in scraping off some of that product, but really you barely need to touch it and it will fall off the nail if you soak it off correctly. When you're using this kind of cuticle tool, it's important to be really careful again with the skin around the nail. It obviously looks a lot quicker because I'm speeding it up, but I'm using very gentle pressure, next to no pressure at all, and being really careful with the surrounding skin again. Now that everything's soaked off, I'm going to go in with a 240 grit HONA file and just get rid of any product that's remaining on the nail plate. We're not really filing the nail plate now, we're just getting rid of any product that might still be there. Okay, so most if not all product has now been removed, and I'm just going to go in with my normal prep, which is pushing the cuticles back, getting rid of any non-living tissue riding on the nail plate and nipping away any hangnails and any non-living tissue. When you're using any manual tools, you need to hold them the same way that you would a pencil, keeping your grip light but firm. So place the edge of the tool against the nail plate and push gently with no pressure. You can let the weight of the tool do the work for you. If your client feels any discomfort, then you aren't applying the correct pressure or you're moving too quickly. You can see how slowly I'm working here. So just stop, reassess and try again. Lastly, it's time to nip away any hangnails or any non-living tissue around the cuticle area. My client has very neat, tidy cuticles, so I'm not going to nip anything that isn't necessary. A good rule of thumb for differentiating between non-living tissue and living tissue is that non-living tends to be white and dry, so it is quite easy to differentiate when you know how. Don't over nip. The eponychium area is very delicate and it's there to protect the nail from infection. Now that all of the prep is complete, I'm going to go in with my 240 grit file and just tidy up the shape of the nails a little bit before we finish. And that is PureBuild and gel polish removal from start to finish. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like to see more like this, please leave a comment below and see you next time. Bye!